Well, I'm right here. So basically, the book of Genesis is basically the start of everything. It goes over a lot of key events that we should know about the Bible. So I'm here to basically simplify them for you guys. Let's start. Okay, we all know God created the universe, God created the earth, God created life, God created the day and night, God created the fish of the sea, the beast of the land, and also the bird of the sky. That's obvious. And then he also made mankind, as I said earlier. He made Adam out of dirt. And then that's where we land. He was proud of each creation. He actually deliberately limited himself because he could have done so much more involving like free will, like destroying the ability to do evil, but then you don't really love him, technically, if you're forced to. It's like an abuser saying, "Oh, you're forced to love me." What? So basically, now we are here. And then in Genesis 3, the serpent, or the devil, tempts Eve to eat the forbidden apple from the tree. We all know this. Well, actually, it's not an apple, it's a fruit. It's never stated to be an apple. And she fell into temptation, and she did the first earthly sin. Not the first sin in general. The one that tempted her is the one that actually sinned first with jealousy. But we're not on that right now. So basically, this is what happened. God banished Lucifer, the bearer of light, and Eve gave the forbidden fruit to Adam. Adam ate it as well, so they both became sinners right before God. And then they realized that they were naked. This is supposed to show how they felt guilty about their actions. They hid from God, who was in human form, and they clothed themselves the way they could. After God found them, he decided, I'll give them mercy. And that's what he did. He gave them mercy, and he clothed them. So, yeah, if he were to go off justice, he would have just... That's what Lucifer is going off of. Justice. Just killing. He should have... In Lucifer's eyes, he should have just destroyed all of humanity right there. But in God's eyes, he loves his creation too much to be able to just destroy it for rebelling against him. But then this would cause a bit of an avalanche. Cain and Abel would be the first ones to be born. Cain and Abel are the first two children of Adam and Eve that they gave birth to, and they were very grateful to be able to give birth to them. Abel and Cain would decide to go for the traditional route of just bringing offerings to the Lord. But the Lord seemed to prefer Abel's. He seemed to favor him. And that really made Cain jealous. And he would spread the sin that was once committed, and now he would become more universal, when not only did he commit the sin of envy, but he would also murder him. So, that's that. And then they would continue the traditional timeline. After this, God punished Cain fairly. He made it so that he can't really do anything, and he's just a wanderer of the earth. Cain asked, why can't people can just kill me? But God gave him protection with a symbol. That's that. And then we continue to go on generation via generation, and then we land to Genesis 6:5, where the entire land is just roaming with sin. There is not a single person on this planet that didn't commit that never committed one. And God's heart was deeply troubled. So he decided that he wanted to just restart humanity. He told Noah to build an ark. And after Noah built the ark, God told him to put him and his wife inside, and then God also told him to put one of every animal of a male and female to be able to help them reproduce and put them inside of the ark. Noah did this. Noah did as God has commanded. And then God rained the flood on them. Now, people in Noah's Ark, or the animals in Noah's Ark to be more specific, survived because that was protection. But everyone else that wasn't in Noah's Ark just died. And then after a set of years set of days, months, where Noah was just sending crows to be able to see if the outside is now good, he was able to go back outside. Amazing. And then we go to the Tower of Babel. People decide to communicate with each other and try to build their way to heaven via the Tower of Babel. After God saw this, he decided to confuse us with many languages. So that's why we have so many diverse ranges of languages, if you don't know. Hello, I am sorry for interrupting the worst video of all time, but I have a sponsor for y'all. Raid Shadow Legend. Guess who's back? I don't know why I did that. So essentially, we have Abraham, who's the next person in our story, and he is another vital one. Abraham was very faithful to God, as we can tell, and he established a covenant with God for the upcoming generations that would come to bite on Moses, actually. I'll go into that, actually, despite the fact of how that's in Exodus. So essentially, Abraham did a covenant with God where God said that if you have to, in your generations, have to circumcise your young, your males, at 8 years old. If you do not, then this covenant is broken. And they agreed. I don't remember the most amount of information going onward, so I'll try to be accurate. Excuse me. So Abraham was told by God to kill his son, Isaac. To kill his son Isaac as an offering, as a sacrifice. So Abraham took him to the place where he would sacrifice the animals, and as he was about to kill him, God intervened and said, "You passed the test," essentially. He didn't get to kill him, as God commanded, and now he had passed the test of his faith. And then we go on to more generations, like Isaac, and then there's, what was his name? I forgot his name. Isaac gave birth to Jacob, and also Esau. As Isaac was about to die, he decided to give his blessings to Esau, but Jacob stole that blessing with the help of Rebecca, and then just and Rebecca told her to run away so Esau's anger doesn't kill him. And Esau got a blessing that his blessing doesn't affect him because he's right here. And then we go into a bit more generation. Jacob bore the 12 sons. Okay, I'm stuttering. So, let's get back on topic. A man that is said to be God wrestled with Jacob, and after that battle, Jacob's new name was replaced with Israel. So now we're naming him off Israel. And then Israel would give birth to, as I said, 12 sons, and the most relevant one is Joseph. Joseph would later be sold. He would be sold to Egypt. He would become the leader of Egypt, and then this is when the transaction comes. Israel told his other sons to go to Egypt. So when they did, Joseph recognized them, but they didn't recognize Joseph. And Joseph sent them to prison until they bring one of the sons that they didn't bring, which is the youngest, who was with Israel. So they brought him, and then we are here. So, and then after some time, Joseph revealed that who he was, and then he would make a small area for them in Egypt for them to live. And there's not too much after. It's just Israel dying and then Joseph dying. There's not that much after this. There's probably some stuff I missed, some stuff I got inaccurate. So hopefully this is not the worst video of all time. Oh, that's Genesis. I rate this as 0 out of 30 shekels.